All right, hey everyone, welcome back to Tapestry Music. My name is Jonathan Lindsay, and I wanted to show you a guitar today that I thought was very cool. And this is a limited edition guitar from Fender, and it's a signature model. This is the signature model Stratocaster for Mark Speer. Now, if you're not familiar with Mark Speer, he is the guitar player for the band that's kind of taken the world by storm called Khruangbin. I'm not going to attempt to spell that for you, so we will put their band name on the screen for you because it's quite a mouthful. But if you haven't heard them, definitely check them out. They're kind of the epitome of chill, mostly instrumental music, and it's absolute awesome vibes for just chilling out to, rainy day, stuff like that. But they've got a really unique tone that's it's somewhere in the, there's like surf elements, but there's R&B elements, and there's really mellow pop elements, and dreamy, a little bit of psychedelic stuff. Very cool. He's always been playing a Stratocaster, and he's got a penchant for 70s Strats, and this year Fender gave him a signature model with all of his specs on there. So this is the guitar. Let's dive in and take a look at it. Obviously very 70s with the full natural finish on here. It's got the big old 70s headstock, 70s tuners, and the bullet truss rod. So it's got all of that. Even on the back here, we got the three-piece neck joint. And this is an ash body with the full gloss finish. So the neck is glossy as well as the body. It's a glossy poly finish, just like they would have had in the 70s. So it's very slick feeling. But there's some pretty interesting little details on this guitar. So maybe starting with the trem. It's a vintage style trem, but you'll notice these white saddles. These are Graphtec saddles. Graphtec is actually a Canadian company, and they're known for building their product called Tusk. That's Tusk with a Q. And it's a synthetic material, and it's really good for Strat saddles because it's got a lot less friction to it. So your strings are going to slide on there nicely. Comes in white, comes in black, and also doesn't break strings as much too. I put a set of their string savers on one of my guitars like 20 years ago, and I don't think I've broken a string on that guitar since. Knock on wood. Anyway, so that is there, and they also did the matching Tusk string trees up top there too. So again, these are binding points if you're using the trem, so it helps a vintage style trem stay in tune a little bit better. Now, the pickups are a unique combination as well. So you'll notice the two, the neck and the bridge, are these rail pickups. These are DiMarzio pickups, and they're called the Pro Track. And that's a pickup I had not tried before, so I'm looking forward to playing around with it and checking it out. Same, we got the Pro Track in the neck, Pro Track in the bridge, and you can see it's got those double rail magnets as opposed to these individual ones. The middle is a true single coil, and it's a 70s style one to go along with the 70s vibe there. And the wiring is a little different, so when I play it, you'll get to check that out because position 4 is actually out of phase, and so it's really like thin and quiet sounding. 5-way switch, we got your regular sort of setup with the volume and tone, but these cool white knobs, all white, to go with the plain white pickguard, just a single ply white pickguard as well. And as I mentioned, the neck is a high gloss finish on here on the maple, and it's a very interesting feel. It's a vintage style radius, 7¼ inch radius, but they're jumbo frets, which is a combination you don't see a whole lot. And this guitar comes stock with flat wound strings. That's something that not many people use on a Stratocaster, but presumably Mark does, and it's part of his mellow kind of tone that's drenched in reverb that's so dreamy. And so it's got a very, very neat feel when you play this guitar. It's very smooth, it's very slick, and it's quite interesting. So I think that's kind of the highlights of this guitar. Let's take a listen to the sound here. I had it on just the neck pickup in the intro. Let's take another quick listen to the neck pickup by itself. The really nice, sweet, tasty neck tones. It's not overly bright with that DiMarzio pickup in there. So this is a Fender Blues Deluxe, which I typically find a pretty bright amp. And while I don't have the bright switch turned on, the tone knobs are all right in the middle, and it's pretty sweet sounding. And the reverb is pretty much almost all the way up. Now, this was the position I was saying quite interesting. This is the out of phase one. So right away, it's really quiet. quite thin sounding, so I guess he's got a use for sometimes he just wants a really thin kind of tone. Here it is. Oop, volume. Compared to the neck where we just were. So that's quite an interesting one. Not something you're going to use an awful lot of the time, but it's great for a little effect here and there. Now, middle position, this is the 70s style single coil. Quite nice. Moving on to number 2. So now we got these two combined. We got the bridge DiMarzio plus the middle pickup. Let's take that one for a whirl. Let's go here. That one sounds cool, and it sounds to me like that's probably a position that Mark uses a lot on the recordings, because when I hear that, it's quite familiar. And lastly, but not least, we got the bridge pickup. Now, these DiMarzios seem to be fairly hot pickups, so this should be pretty hot, and he's probably going to that one whenever he's hitting some distortion. Let's check that one out. Cool, so this is a really vibey guitar. It's a lot of fun to play. It makes you want to just like move up and down the neck. It's super smooth, especially with those flat wounds on there. Quite a treat to play. So do yourself a favor, come check this one out. The limited edition Fender Mark Speer Stratocaster here at Tapestry Music. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
one.
Cool guitar.
Yeah, interesting about the flat one.
It's totally different feeling.
Yeah,
Super slidey.
no wonder it's so slow.